Now on the beach, the competitors for the junior Ironman, we're ready for a start now, just being spoken to by the starter. Away they go. We have Jamie Kearsley from City of Perth, Western Australia in 1, Barry Newman from Freshwater in 2, Barry Woodger from Currumbin, Queensland in 3, then John Cook of Avoca in 4, an interesting competitor in Craig Riddington from Manly, the champion surfer, is in 5, Ian Hodgins of Southport in 6, Peter O'Brien of Freshwater 7, then Grant Kenny for Alexandra Headlands, the defending champion, in Station 8, Todd Bennett of Clovelly in 9, Michael Brown of Tweedheads, Coolangatta, Dwayne Tice of Seacliff in South Australia, and Russell Cooper from Cronulla.
Well, the competitors are now in the wade area. They're porpoising across the bank at there. Freshwater is going very nicely, as is City of Perth, Kearsley of City of Perth, and also Cooper of Cronulla. Grant Kenny of Alexander Headlands is just victorious in the Open Ironman, just going under that wave at the moment. The competitors are starting to swim, and possibly the fastest swimmer out there will be Craig Riddington of Manly, and he's chosen to sit in the middle of the field just behind Kearsley of City of Perth, and also O'Byrne from Freshwater. But at the moment, as the competitors are now well into the green water on their way to the first turning buoy in this first leg of the Ironman, it is Jamie Kearsley of City of Perth that's in front. He's being chased by Russell Cooper from Cronulla, the local beach down here. And just behind them, coming up the rate of knots now, is Craig Riddington of Manly, swimming right alongside Grant Kenny of Alexander Headlands. Back then to Jamie Kearsley of City of Perth, and then a little bit further back to Grant Kenny of Alexander Headlands, then back to Currumbin, Woodger of Currumbin in Queensland. Those competitors are now starting to spread out very, very nicely, and as Cook of Avoca, first man around the buoy, Riddington has just gone past Cook, is coming right through it, and there's a few waves there in front of them, so this is very interesting. I thought Riddington have a better lead than he has at the moment, but there's waves there in front of them, there's a few swells out the back, but it's Craig Riddington of Manly who is swimming very nicely, and notice where Cook of Avoca is swimming to the south, and he's putting himself in a big hole there, but here comes a wave. It'll be interesting to see can any of the competitors pick it up. There's two trying to have a go at it. Most certainly the only one that does stand a chance is Riddington. He's a great little surfer, he's going to push hard, but he doesn't have it either, so it's a long way to swim for these competitors. Here's another one out there, and we see Cook positioning himself for it. He's seen a wave, and there's Cook of Avoca. It's going to go down very, very nicely. Riddington will be able to pick it up also, so there's Riddington picking it up. He's choosing to slide slightly north to pick up the last of that little break. You can see him change hands, and Grant Kenny of Alexander Headlands is a long way behind these two competitors, Cook of Avoca and Riddington of Manly. Cook will get the best of the run, although this wave will bring them both right into the beach. Look at Riddington push on it. He's pushing very, very hard, and push it right through to the edge. It's Craig Riddington of Manly who'll be the first home in the first leg of this Junior Ironman Championships. Kearsley has picked up a wave. Grant Kenny is still a long way back there onto the bank, and into second place is Cook of Avoca, as these two competitors spread eagle the rest of the field.
Well, while you were talking, John, Grant Kenny was caught in a hole. He's onto a small wave now, but he's back in about 6th place.
Yes, well, there's Kearsley onto the beach now, so it's Riddington of Manly in front. Kearsley's on the beach, and Kenny, his strongest leg of the craft, he's up against some great swimmers. We also see Cooper coming up. Bennett of Clovelly is also up into there, and Currumbin of Queensland, Freshwater, O'Byrne of Freshwater is out there. So there's Grant Kenny, who's given a long way away, but he's very fortunate. He's not only a great surfer, he's a lucky surfer, because out there in the ski, Craig Riddington is being pounded by a lot of big waves, and there's a lot of big waves in front of him. Now, he can't afford to be knocked back, and Kenny will easily pick up Riddington this leg. There's nothing but big waves in front of Riddington. Kenny has seen it, and he is going for broke. He's paddled up into 4th position, so Kenny will get over these little swells very, very easily. He's seen Riddington is being held back, and there's green water in front of Riddington now. There's only green water in front of Kenny again, with two of his favourite legs to go. As Craig Riddington in front at the moment, moving up into equal second place now is Grant Kenny of Alexander Headlands. With him, Russell Cooper from Cronulla, Jamie Kearsley from City of Perth, further back to O'Byrne of Freshwater, then Cook of Avoca, and also Bennett of Clovelly. So what a race it is as these competitors head out to the turning buoy of the second leg. Craig Riddington of Manly in front. In second place, Kearsley of City of Perth has moved up, then Grant Kenny of Alexander Headlands, then into Cooper of Cronulla, then into Cook of Avoca, further back to Bennett of Clovelly, then further back to O'Byrne of Freshwater. So have a look at these, the blades of these paddles go as the competitors go around. The white one is Kearsley of City of Perth. The yellow one, Kenny of Alexander Headland, and the blue one is Riddington of Manly. And there is a wave out there, and turning the boys easily will be on the inside. Have a go at it. He'll be going for that wave. There's going to be, oh, no one got it, but what a turn as those three competitors went through. Wasn't a problem at all. It was a very clear turn as the three competitors went through. Very tempting for those competitors to miss that buoy and have a go, but they all did it. But Kearsley is paddling at the rate of knots, as a little bit in front, and there's Cooper coming down the back on a wave. So we're going to have four competitors on the same wave on the second leg of this Junior Ironman Championship. On the right, Craig Riddington of Manly. Next to him, Jamie Kearsley of City of Perth, Western Australia. Next to him, Russell Cooper, Cronulla, New South Wales. Next to him, and the best position on the beach, Grant Kenny, Alexander Headlands, Queensland. So what a race in this Junior Ironman. We have to remember that Kenny has just completed and won the Senior Ironman Championship, and he'll be the first one onto the beach. He's best positioned for the run up the beach, and he'll be the first one around the flag. So what a race this has turned out to be. Kenny, Alexander Headlands, Cooper, Cronulla, New South Wales, Kearsley, City of Perth, Western Australia, and Riddington, Manly, New South Wales. All the competitors now got a very even break on this final leg. Behind them coming up now, O'Byrne, Freshwater, Bennett, Clovelly.
John, did you see the takeoff then by Grant Kenny? He just threw that board into the water and he gained 2 lengths in the first 10 metres.
He's a great competitor, Norman. He's a great surfer, and he makes his own luck. And that just is, it goes for speaking volumes of the amount of time he spends on the surf.
Well, look at the surf now. Previously in the ski leg, the big waves were there. Now Grant Kenny in front. The surf's almost flat, and Grant Kenny's hit the front.
Well, the competitors will now sit down. It's between Grant Kenny, who's slightly in front of Russell Cooper from Cronulla. Those competitors now setting out towards the turning buoy. Not a wave in front of him. Behind them, Jamie Kearsley from City of Perth. Behind him, Craig Riddington from Manly, New South Wales. All the competitors will have cleared the break and out into the green water and settled down to what could be a very interesting finish in this event. There's still Kenny on that yellow board in front of Russell Cooper as they're about 3/4 way to the first turning buoy in the final leg of the Junior Ironman Championship. Now, it'll be very interesting in this race also. We've seen the other stages of the Ironman for the positioning of these competitors as they return back to the beach. Grant Kenny will be positioning himself much as he did in that ski race. Russell Cooper, he'll try and keep Russell Cooper on his left-hand side to give him a further area to run.
And can we say, even though Kenny's had the going through that senior race, he may be a bit tired, but actually Cooper from Cronulla is closer to Kenny than Alan was in the senior event.
Yes. But you got to remember that Kenny could be a little bit tired. He could be foxy. Now, the interest will be is to where he positions Cooper. Now, he'll be trying to keep Cooper on his left-hand side on the way back to the beach. Here's a wave. He's going to try and pull through on it. But he won't be able to. He'll try and keep Cooper. He'll head slightly north to keep Cooper onto his left, so he keeps Cooper running a lot further than he has to go. Now look at the positioning of Cooper. Cooper is trying to keep right behind him, knowing that if there's a wave going to come up, he's going to go right through Grant Kenny. But there's Kenny pushing hard to get over this. If he gets over this, it's over. But he stopped. He stopped now. Here's a little swell behind him, and coming down is Jamie Kearsley. Most certainly Russell Cooper will pick it up. Now here's where surfing brilliance come. Kenny is going to have to position himself, so he is the first on the beach. Cooper will pick up the wave, so will Grant Kenny. You noticed he's going back on the ski. Cooper is onto the wave. Grant Kenny is going to have to lay down to make sure his nose doesn't go in. He's also on the wave. Now look at the positioning of these two as they come back to the beach. Remember what I said, Kenny is going to keep Cooper on his left-hand side in case it was a close finish, because he is close to the flag. Now look how clear it is. No interference by any of the competitors. What's the finish? Now what's the change over as they both get up? Both are up. Both are running. It's going to be anyone's race. It's going to be Cooper, Kenny, Cooper, Kenny. Cooper is across the line first. Kenny is across the line second. That's the closest finish I have ever seen in an Ironman Championship. A great effort by two great competitors, and you can see the emotion of those competitors. Grant Kenny, in a desperate move, threw himself at the line, but was unfortunate he couldn't beat Russell Cooper of Cronulla. Coming up in the third place, a great effort between Bennett of Clovelly and Kearsley. Kearsley coming up. It's going to be another finish. Oh, I'll leave that one to the judges. Kearsley of City of Perth, Bennett of Clovelly, New South Wales. A great finish to what another Junior Ironman Championship.